So for the second card, we are going to be playing with this fun kind of purple and ivory monochromatic color palette, which I just love. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to kind of run your fingernail along this ribbon because there are going to be some creases in it from it sitting for a while. I'm just going to tell you that right now because that's what happens. So, or you could take an iron to it, that would also work. Okay, so here we go. So leaf paper again, except we are using this side, which is the back side. Look how beautiful this is with the white and that kind of taupe color. So gorgeous. So I wanted to kind of do this monochromatic kind of layering. So I'm going to use this beautiful pearlescent star dream paper, and it's called Opal, which kind of looks opally. And I'm using the lightweight version of it as a layering piece. So then that way I just get a little hint of the color behind it. However, before I layer that on, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap my ribbon around so I can get a nice little bow. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape on all four sides of that leaf paper. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick down my ribbon. So if you want your bow to be on the right side, you make the right side shorter. If you want your bow to be on the left side, you make the left side shorter. It doesn't really matter if you mess up because you can always just turn your paper around. So it doesn't really matter. Okay. All right. So now that you have this up like this and you have it going straight across, right, so that your bow is going to be straight. Now you can go ahead and just mount it on the front of your pearl paper before we tie your bow here. It's totally fine. And there's going to be about, a 1/16 of an inch border on all four sides. Oh my gosh, mine was not straight. It's going to drive me crazy. I know, I told my paper it's okay, it's a layering piece, I'm not too worried. And it was just barely off, but I noticed, and I know me, and I know that I would be bothered by that and be like, oh my gosh, look at what I did, I messed up. That sounds like me, that sounds like classic Lily. Alright, and now we're going to mount this on the front of the card. Again, same amount of a border, but that's got to be less than 1/8 inch, again, 1/16 of an inch. Oh, I didn't give myself quite enough for a bow, just barely. And I already layered it. Classic Ellie. It even crossed my mind. I was like, I should probably tie the bow before I layer it. Yes, you should. Yes, I should have, but it's okay. I don't need very much of a tail. See? I'm talking to myself. I'm like, yes, I know I should have, but that's alright, Pastelli. You did good. Sometimes I have to congratulate my past self. Sometimes my past self is really great about thinking ahead, which I just... Good job, Pastelli. Okay, so now... There we have our cute little bow. Oh, so precious. And then we have this really nice kind of, it's this eggplant kind of dark purple color. So beautiful. And the flowers really mimic the flowers in this background. So you can stick your little flower down here, or you can stick your little sprig. You can stick a sprig of your flower up here. So like this little grouping at the top, you can stick in there, like just that little guy, which might be kind of fun. And you stick your other little flower down here. I think that might be so cute. But is that what I want to do? I have to decide. How do I want to layer that? And do we want to do another sprig elsewhere? I could also, of course, tuck my little guy in there. Oh! My bow came undone just a touch. I think that I want to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my little sprig there and do my little guy down here at the bottom. I'm going to do a secondary sprig over here. I decided. Oh, I love that from the corner there. Oh, how fun is that? So I think that I want to do, oh, I'm making a decision. It's a scary one. I'm cutting out this tiny little corner right here. And we're going to see if this is fun or if this is not fun. I think it's going to be fun. Oh, I do love that. And then where we wanted to put our flower. Put our flower right there, right there. Oh, I do have one pop dot left over, but I didn't tell you guys to save any pop dots. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just trim this, and I'm going to reattach it to my little sprig. I just looked at a place where it was. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here in the middle, and we're going to go ahead and just stick this on. And I'm sticking it on here so that I'm going to get a little bit of overlap with my little leaf. I think, yeah. But I'm going to see the edge of my sprig here and my edge of my little sprig there. Because I do like that. I think I'm going to cut this little sprig off because I'm just going to redesign the whole die cut here. Yep, it needs to go up here instead. Sometimes you can cut die cuts apart and recreate whole fun little scenes. Or recreate a whole image and make it, you know, a little bit more unique for what you're needing. So I oftentimes see people feel limited by what the die looks like rather than what the die can do. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and just lay that down. I'm going to put this down here in the corner. I'm going to have it come out of the corner right there, and then stick those little guys there, there, and there. I'm going to trim this guy a little bit shorter here so I can really experience the full curly Q of that ribbon there. So fun. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same. I'll just go ahead and glue this down up here in the other upper corner. And what I love about this, I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but this die, which I've used many times because I love it, it's such a great die cut, I've used it so much that I decided it needed to be a different shape. And so by using the same die cut, but by cutting it apart, we've created different shapes with it. And now we can do more with it. Oh gosh, I love this card. So if you wanted to, you could easily make this a sympathy card by just stamping or writing or even printing something out that says with sympathy, or you can even just leave it as is and just write a nice message inside. If you don't like the purple, you can always take a piece of, again, paper and type something, write something on it, and then just fold it in half and kind of tuck it in. You put some glue in the middle and that's a nice message inside, or you can even just leave it in and have it. That way they can just experience and love the card. I don't know about you guys, but when I make a card that's with sympathy, oh, that's right, sorry, I wanted to add these in here too. But I was going to say, when you're making a card, when you have a with sympathy card, sometimes I don't like to write with sympathy on the front of the card, because then as they have this card up and maybe it's near them and they're just loving that you sent this really kind note to them, perhaps they do not want to be reminded that they are in this time of sympathy. Maybe they do, and that's totally fine. But for me personally, when I make cards, the sympathy cards, it's more about the art and maybe about the feeling that my card is portraying. Like this has kind of like this very soft, you have the kind of dark with the very soft background. It's really very reminiscent of something that could be used for sympathy, or it could be used for anniversary, or it can be, I mean, a soft card. It could be used for a variety of different things. Wedding card even, absolutely, would totally appeal. But I'm just saying that sometimes maybe you want the card to be symbolic, and maybe having the sentiment on there makes it so that they feel like they can only keep it up if they're grieving, whereas they can keep that card up for a longer period of time if it's more about like, hey, I'm thinking of you and I really care about you. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on sympathy cards. So now you know. So, but again, I have made sympathy cards in the past and I probably will in the future, but that's just a thought of mine. I've lost friends in the past and I've a personal thought I've experienced during the time of grieving was people were like, oh my gosh, and they would talk about it and bring it up, is that I didn't always want to talk about it flat out. I was just like, thank you for bringing it up again. So just, yeah, it's hard during this time when there's a lot of grief going on, and you feel like a need and a call to send something. So sending and giving that joy is like so wonderful and so welcomed. That's a big part of why I'm here, is that I want to share that happiness with you, and I want to encourage you to share that happiness with others. It's so important to me. Okay. All right, I'm done with my little spiel there. All right, you guys, so there's the card. And then the inside is nice too, because you have that same paper and it's kind of framing out like a nice little sentiment. If you're going to use a white pen, that would work perfectly with this. Again, if you're just going to do a little note, you can, of course, always print something out and cut it down to size and put that in the center too. If you're going to do that, print with the purple ink so that it matches the paper. Oh, that would just make me so happy if you did that. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming to my little cards kit today. One of them is kind of cutesy. Of course, you don't have to put the hedgehogs in, and you tie a fun little ribbon, and it could definitely be more elegant. But I had to do the cutesy things because it just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. All right, you guys. Have a fun day. I hope you do things that make you happy too. See you later.